Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Alright, Season 1, Episode 3. Yeah, I really liked the last episode. We had a really cool interaction with Aizawa there, and kind of had like a look into how Aizawa, like the fact that he was about to punch a guy, but because he wasn't abusing a quirk, Aizawa was like, oh, well, I can just let you go. He still called it and reported it in and stuff like that, but he wasn't like arresting the guy, which was really interesting. But but yeah, we also learned that Knuckle Duster might be quirkless. At least that's Aizawa's assumption because he was fighting without using his quirk, and Aizawa turned it off or tried to turn something off, but nothing got turned off in the way that he was fighting. To me, I said it in the discussion of the last episode. I feel like to me that's the show saying he's quirkless without actually saying it. But I'm leaving it open to the chance that maybe he just either doesn't have a useful quirk for combat, so didn't activate it, or just tries to get by without using it, kind of thing. So either way, we're dealing with this drug going around. A lot of people, it seems to be like spreading like crazy. So I wonder how it's going to be working up this drug empire and getting to some of the leaders of it. I imagine are going to be some stronger people rather than just people just going berserk. And how do people like Knuckle Duster handle that without a quirk? If he truly doesn't. But I love the sliding up walls. I talked a bit about that with like the whole like friction and stuff, allowing him to do that, or like the lack of friction and everything. I just It was really neat. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these characters develop and how the story develops too. So let's jump into this episode here, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Uh, yeah, a little. Oh, it's so cool. I love, like, I know that wasn't a big deal, but I just love this show with its, like, wild and crazy quirks. And seeing how people find a way. Oh! Oh my god. That's so funny. Oh, he doesn't recognize him. Clearly, it's Knuckle Duster. He's just chilling. Alright. Yeah, I was saying I love how this show just takes these quirks that, like, uh, a sliding glide, right? A sliding glide. I keep wanting to say sliding go because the other guy. Yeah, sliding glide. Like that quirk is so like underwhelming when you first see it, but like him climbing the walls last episode, like in the way that he had like all his like hands and feet on one wall and go up it. But this one here where like instead of like scaling up it like someone that's actually fit could do, he just like puts 3 points on it and just keeps himself stabilized probably with the last one and just slides up. It's just really neat. This song's wearing on me. Oh, All Might. All right, All Might. All Might, all right. All right, All Might. All right. B. I can't believe all he had to do was put his headband on. And he's like, ah, yes, it's you. No, he broke your window! Oh my god. Oh, it's gonna be her, too. He's not gonna recognize her either? Oh my god, you buffoon. She got out of school and just came right here. He does have a day job. Wonder what it is. Why'd she come all the way here to do it? When did you put up this curtain? She's making herself at home. This pad is a shared space. Oh. They just made themselves at home. That's so funny. That's right, I forgot that he briefly was working here. I was thinking about the idea of her being a self-proclaimed idol is interesting. Does someone have to proclaim that you're an idol? I think like street performances, like random street performances like this would be cool. She does like a little handshake event like on the spot too. It's those two guys. Were they there the first time? Or did they become a fan after meeting her? This little guy. Oh. Oh, come on, man. Oh, this is a line? The fact that these are middle schoolers is wild. I love that shows. Hmm. Ugh. What? What? He's just Cyclops? Jeez! Thanks for the awesome light show. I hope he's not about to take a drug. Uh-oh. Oh, dude, what? So he's already taken it once, because his tongue is like that, right? Oh! What? I wish we got to see their quirks before they took the drug. I want to see how it enhances them. All these kids are gonna try to help. How did he know? He's gonna be slippery, right? He just has a grapple hook. Man, how do you do that? He just like yeet it up. Don't say my real name in the field, girl. Secret identities, man. He's just chilling. He's so used to falling in trash. Udon. Is Udon gonna somehow use something from an udon shop to stop the slipperiness? I don't know. Or something. Why is the voice like this? Oh my god. Frickin' Tackle Buster. Gloop. Hmm. Is this how we deal with them? What was up with the udon? Why'd we look at the udon shop, though? Oh, jeez. Too far now, buddy. Oh, is it like the flour that they use for the noodles? Yeah, that'll dry you up. Cook up some dried eel. Alright. They break their clothes, yeah. You know, say his little booty was out. He just. You're out of beer. Stock up. He's in his boxers. Oh my god. I didn't go past the curtain. Go to smoke outside is actually a good point. I do not want chest hair. Yeah, it's probably closer to it than you thought. Wait, isn't that the window that was broken? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hanuma. Is this his partner or his boss or? Hmm. Maybe get people like hooked so they buy more? I don't know. Hmm. Okay. That's what I was thinking. An investment. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, is he out of? He's not in jail or anything? Hmm. He was just slimy. Okay. That's his background music. Oh, a scandal. Oh, instantly recognized. Oh, a couple fans. He had to take the picture. Oh no. Interesting. She got a little. She got more flustered than you'd expect, so I wonder if she does like him. But she's a high schooler and he's in college, right? So. They're still calling her name. They had to go get some merch. I didn't even notice him in the background. I was too busy reading subtitles. I wasn't paying attention. He's like, "What's going on?" Uh-oh, why are we seeing this now? Is there gonna be something nefarious? What? It's gonna forcefully inject someone. Wait, what? Why didn't she freak out? Oh, look at her leggings and her backpack. It's all like bee stripes. Oh my god. Queen Bee. Oh my god. Is she about to mass force inject people with the shit? Holy crap, this is not good. That's so bad. Oh my god! People are gonna think they're villains. They don't realize. Wait, what happened? Alright, we're about to see a bunch of heroes spring into action. Let's go. Probably next episode, though. I just saw the time. Damn it. Yo, he was on it, man! Like, Knuckle Duster's a goofball, but he instantly, like, realized and jumped into action. Airjet! Whoa! Ingenium! Oh, I got chills instantly. Oh, Endeavor! Oh, cool. A lot of heroes we know. Oh, Best Genist. Aizawa. Present Mike. Shoot, I just heard his name recently, too. Midnight. All Might! Let's go! Oh, I feel bad for the people, though. They didn't do it. Damn. That was crazy. I thought it was gonna be next episode. That was so fast. Oh. Hmm. Oh. She can tell. Whoa! She's bleeding a little. What the heck? How did... God damn it. Oh no, we're gonna get some ominous shit. The real threat. Hmm. Well, that's foreboding. Oh, that was a really good episode. Alright, cool. Alright, so. Very, very cool. I love them just making themselves at home. Like, as an introvert myself, I would be very frustrated by that personally, and maybe he is too. But there is something very endearing about it too. There's like, see, there's a part of me that is jealous of that kind of thing where I'm like I kind of wish I could have that, but I think after like a few days or a week, I would be drained and just so done. I like having my own time, my own space, like away from everything, you know? So it's, yeah. But yeah, I thought that was really funny. I love that she like puts up a curtain instantly and she's like, this is my space. And it's like, you walked into this guy's house and was just like, you know, your space is now my space. But, I started talking earlier in the episode about being a self-proclaimed idol. I thought that was an interesting title. because like, does that mean that there's some? Ah, shit. Sorry. That is it, guys, for episode 3. All right. So for self-proclaimed idol, does that mean there's some kind of institution or something that proclaims idols? Like what defines being an idol? Like how like why does she have to be a self-proclaimed one and not an actual one? Is it because she just performs on the street and doesn't do like live concerts? Is like do you have to have a certain level of popularity before you can be an idol? Now, this is coming from someone who just finished watching Oshinoko, so I feel like I should have some kind of idea on this, but like the newbie idols we see call themselves idols like right as they sign onto a label and they start like practicing and stuff and they're considering themselves idols. So like it feels like she should just be an idol, but it's interesting that they have to say like self-proclaimed idol. So I don't know, it's really not a big deal, it doesn't matter to the story at all. I don't really know why I'm bothering to think about it this much, but it was just one of those things where when I heard it last episode, or like maybe it was the episode before, and then after really thinking about it during the time that I wasn't recording, I was just like, that's interesting that it's just like self-proclaimed idol. But anyway, that but yeah, other than that, I really in so I talked about it briefly during the show, but I really wish we got to see some of these quirks from like the bad guys before they used them. Now, obviously, at the end here, when we had the mass injecting, that's fine. I don't need to like see the quirk first, but sometimes I just wish I knew like I have no idea what his level of transform. Like I imagine he could transform into an eel before, right? Is he just a bigger eel than he could transform into before? But that eel wasn't that. I mean, it was bigger than he is normally, but like, did his transformation make him smaller than he normally is as a like person form, or what? Like, I'm really curious about I guess I'm just really interested in all these different quirks and the uniqueness of them and craziness, and I just wish we got to know a little bit more of like what they did. Like same with the guy that could turn into like the forearm giant. Like what could he turn into before the drug? I just feel like we're missing like we saw it like once, right? In the beginning of the show with those thugs. We saw at least the main guy pull out like blades out of his fingers, and then when he took the drug, he was like covered in blades and everything. So we got an idea of the level of enhancement there, but sometimes I wish we could see just a little bit more of that. But I'm still loving the show regardless. But yeah, so. With Tsukiyuchi, we had this Tanuma guy who I don't know if that's his partner or his boss or where he stands in comparison to Tsukiyuchi, but he seems a little older than Tsukiyuchi is, so it seems like he might be kind of like the brains for now, and Tsukiyuchi is still kind of learning because he came up with the idea that he feels like this is all like connected, like building up to something bigger. So which I guess you could come to the conclusion that like these are just like sloppy sales or whatever and stuff like that, like they were originally thinking. But I mean, granted, I'm watching a TV show where I know the story is gonna get bigger and bigger, right? So maybe it's because I have that perspective, but to me it felt pretty clear that this is like building up to something. But like I said, I have the meta perspective of knowing it's a show that, of course the story is gonna build up to something bigger, so but yeah. Anyway. We also had I didn't catch the name, they said it a few times, I'm sorry about that, but the eel kid wasn't arrested, he was already out, which is pretty crazy. Like, don't get me wrong, like, all he really did was assault a girl, right? Like, not to dismiss that, that's not something to just be, I'm sorry, I said that really poorly, I didn't mean to be like, yeah, all he did was assault her, that's fine, assaulting women's fine, that's not what I was trying to say. I just meant like he didn't murder anyone or something like that. So I guess like getting a slap on the wrist after finding out that he was like tricked into taking. Well, the thing is he took it himself that time. Like that was his choice. but maybe the first time that got him hooked was him being like tricked into taking it and stuff like that, and all that. So I guess I get it, and I do like the idea of giving people second chances. You know, we saw what happens, you know, with Gentle Criminal and La Brava and stuff like that, with like giving these people like another chance and working towards redemption for people and not just throwing them in a jail cell. I really like that message that this show was sending, or the original My Hero was sending earlier on. Same with Twice, you know. Twice is someone who was a good guy who's, you know, the system kind of failed him a little bit. But yeah. Anyway, um yeah, we had this Queen Bee girl who I imagine she was given the drug by someone else. I imagine she's not the one orchestrating everything. We still have that guy with like the scar on his face that I think we saw once, and then he's also in the opening. That might be like higher up on the distribution chain, but either way, she's her quirk is Queen Bee, and she can like control all these bees, and I think they're just carrying. I imagine those vials on them aren't like part of her quirk, right? I imagine they're, even though they kind of look like they are on like they almost look like they're connected. I don't know. Yeah, they look like they're connected to the bee, which is just really interesting. So my quirk is Queen Bee, she says. My little worker bees are filled with nasty chemicals. So like, can can she just choose to fill them with chemicals? Like, can she choose the bee's form? Did she choose to have this like vial on them, like the way it is? I don't know, but it's really interesting. And then also when Knuckle Duster killed one, like just squeezed it, her eye started bleeding, like a good amount for just one of them being hurt. So I wonder, is it like a part of her body that she's like, you know how we had that one girl in My Hero that's a part of Class B that can like break herself into pieces? I wonder if it's kind of like that, where these are like pieces of her body in some way, and breaking it is what, or killing it is what hurt her. I don't know. I wonder if we'll learn more about how her quirk works. But I also love that that bee flew past him, and sure, you could see that, like, you can see pretty quickly that it's not a normal bee, you know. But Knuckle Duster just, I don't know. He just reacted so quickly that it felt pretty impressive, you know? Like he's always been impressive with, I'm pretty sure he was the one that looked at the udon shop and had the idea of the flower. So I just really love that he, you know, he doesn't have this quirk, and yes, he's goofy and everything, but when it comes down to it, he's very resourceful and very smart, you know, regardless of how like goofy he may seem on his like downtime and stuff like that, and just the fact that he just goes up and punches people and stuff like that, you know. So I don't know. And plus, the one time we saw him just go up and try to punch someone, he ended up being right. So maybe he is just smarter than we give him credit for, and he saw something there that he didn't like. You know, he somehow knew that that guy was bad. But anyway, yeah, I'm really curious about this second year high school part time villain girl. You know, like, and how she plays into this whole drug empire, but forcefully activating everyone, like forcefully giving people this drug is pretty wild. It also seems like such a small dose, and it was able to send people like going haywire. And I really feel bad for the people, like just suddenly being injected with something that just makes your quirk go out of control, and then heroes show up and, you know, beat the shit out of you and treat you like villains, you know? Like, the one guy, like, don't get me wrong, I love All Might, but the one guy that All Might like beat the shit out of him was holding above his head. Like, it felt like that guy was just like laying there in the road, like in agony or something like that. It didn't feel like he was like going around and hurting people yet. Granted, he might have gotten to that point, but All Might just kind of came in and beat the shit out of him, you know. So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I also didn't expect to get like so much of it. So like I expected it to be next episode, but we had Ingenium come in, and that gave me chills. That was really cool because this is his brother before he got injured by Stain. So it's really cool. And then we had this shot where we have Endeavor, Best Genus, Aizawa, Present Mike, some monkey guy, Space Hero 13, Midnight. I almost want to say his name was just Shoot, like the Western guy with the guns and everything. I can't remember his exact name. And I'm trying to remember Death Arms. Oh, I just remembered it. Death Arms is the guy. He was from like the first episode of My Hero, and we saw him later on like quitting, but then I think he might have came back towards the end. Anyway, yeah, very cool. There's also someone way in the back behind Midnight's ass that I can't quite see. I don't think it's someone we recognize though. And then there's a dude in armor in the back that we don't know either. But yeah, very cool seeing a bunch of heroes that we know come in. This is back when Endeavor was still an asshole too, probably. Alright. That was very cool though. Very good episode. I'm excited to see more. I mean, we have that ominous message at the end with it being like this is just a prelude to something far worse or whatever was said, you know. So we'll have to see how all that turns out. But and we did have a little moment where, you know, Koichi was like being nice, saying like you walk slow or whatever, and then like putting his arm out, you know, like I don't think he was doing it in a way, you know, I don't think he thinks of her in that way at all, which, you know, I've seen a lot of shows recently where there's like the younger, like the high schooler that is liking someone that's a little older, and it's like, okay, well, as long as he doesn't really act on it until it's of age and everything, you know, like it is still awkward, but it'd be far worse if it was the other way around, you know, like an older guy just, you know, hitting on a high schooler and stuff like that makes it way more awkward than a, you know, younger girl liking someone a bit older. So, but yeah, like I don't feel like I really sensed anything between them until this episode where she said like, is this your boyfriend? And maybe she just got embarrassed because it was like talking about boyfriend or whatever. But then, like, that's what I was thinking. But then Koichi like denied it so quickly, and she's like, why'd you deny it like that? You know, like almost like she was mad about it. Which I mean, I guess that could just be like a self-esteem thing. Like maybe she doesn't really like him that way, but she's insulted by the fact that he doesn't see her that way. You know, like, oh, am I not pretty enough, kind of thing. Like, I don't know. It still might not mean they're like trying to pull some kind of like lovey-dovey thing there, but yeah, we'll just have to see how that kind of thing develops, I suppose. But yeah. Anyway, very fun episode. Looking forward to more. So thank you guys so much. That's gonna be it from me. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. There's 2 episodes ahead of time through the early access tier on there. Links in the description below should be popping up on the screen. And I'll see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.